body lovers, welcome back to another episode of Take a Walk with Body. I know you have all been waiting for the moment when I posted about my surgery, you know, my fibroid surgery, and I am so sorry that it took so long for me to get to this point. But honestly, you know, I love to share everything about my life. You can see from my Instagram post, but this particular one was a little bit more personal to me because it took a lot for me, mentally, physically, and emotionally. But of course, I want to help encourage young women to do their yearly checkups and to, you know, find out things about themselves and to also know their bodies well enough. Because you know the funny thing, if I didn't know my body as much as I do right now, I wouldn't have known something was wrong. So stay tuned, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you ain't got belly for this, you can as well walk away right now. This video is only for the brave, because I will be showing contents from my trip, from this process that might bother a few of you. So get out of here if you ain't strong enough. But if not, stay with me, watch this, enjoy it, like, subscribe, and don't forget to share, okay? Question: how did you know you had fibroids? What led to what, and so on? So I'm gonna start like this. A few years ago, I went to the doctor and to do my yearly checkups. I do my yearly checkups actually twice a year. I like to make sure everything is, I'm one of those people that I love to know. If God forbid I have cancer or something, I want to know, so I know, especially because I am a mother, I want to know what are the necessary procedures, what are the necessary things I need to be aware of so I can prepare for my child. That's always my number one focus, you know. So a few years ago, I went to the doctor, I did a checkup, an echography, and they saw a few fibroids. There were about 4 of them, or 5 of them, can't remember exactly. And the doctor told me, don't worry, stay calm, don't worry about it, it's the size of a rice grain, you know, go about your business, and this, you would feel symptoms in 7 to 10 years, so you don't have to worry about surgery or anything. So like a good patient, of course, I go about my business till last year. At the moment when I started feeling symptoms, and trust me, I didn't know this had anything to do with fibroid. My imagination went to the worst of them. The way I was feeling, I started thinking, with all the stress going on in my life at the moment, maybe I had cancer, maybe I had something really bad, because I was feeling exhausted all the time. Okay, so these are one of my symptoms. I started to feel tired almost all the time. I would feel the need to sleep every day, but of course I thought, okay, maybe it's depression, because I was going through a lot of emotional distress at the moment, so I blamed it on depression, you know. But then things started changing. The next thing I noticed about me was my skin. So 2 weeks before my cycle, my monthly cycle, I would get extremely dry skin around here, around these areas, and all around here. Like my skin felt like scales, you know. I would use the best lotions ever and nothing would work, and I just couldn't understand it. I thought about going to a dermatologist, but then I never got around to do that. Okay, that wasn't even my main concern. Okay, my next sign that I knew something was really wrong, I was blessed enough with a 3-day cycle, a 3-day monthly cycle. So my cycle jumped from 3 days, from 3 perfect days to 7, like in one sweep. It didn't go from 3 to 4 to 5, it just went from 1 to 7. At first I thought, okay, maybe I'm just stressed, you know, the body is changing, there are a lot of hormones here and there. But then it became not just a normal period. So my period went from regular, I usually got a lot of pains during my menstrual cycle, but this one was different. This one came with pains during my ovulation period. Like my stomach would hurt so bad, it felt like someone was pouring acid in my stomach, you know. And it hurt so bad, like I couldn't even explain it, but people thought I was complaining, just complaining like we all do, you know. And also, apart from it being irregular, apart from my period being 7 days, now it had chunks in it. It had lumps in my period, you know. I know this is disgusting, men, if you're out there, but it's also advisable for you to watch this video, because maybe your wife, your sister, your girlfriend is going through something like this, and you want to be aware of what goes on with a woman's body, you know. You would think that childbearing was the hardest thing, but it's not actually. So my period went from regular 3 days to 7 days with a lot of clots, like big chunks of clots, you know. I went on for a few months not knowing. I thought, blame it on stress, you know, because at that point in my life I was still in my relationship, but I was on my way out the door, you know. So I blamed it on emotional distress, I blamed it on mental distress, I blamed it on everything. And honestly, boy, we'd be finding reasons to blame, you know. So I thought that everything I was going through physically was a sign of an emotional distress, but it wasn't. So ladies, apart from you just taking care of yourself, sometimes it is so important to give yourself a self-check, especially when it has to do with your private zone. You have to know what it looks like, what it smells like, what it feels like, you know. So in case something ever goes wrong, you're aware of problems that might occur in that zone. So I usually give myself a 3 months check, and this is advised by the doctor, you know. What I do is I stick my finger up in my private, you know, and I check, and I notice that my cervix, and for those of you who don't know, the cervix is right at the bottom of the uterus, you know. It sticks out. It feels like a little cylinder. It's rounded with a little hole. So that's the opening to your uterus, your cervix. It's right at the bottom. So when I did my check, I noticed that my cervix was not shooting down anymore, you know, because if you put your finger in there, you would feel the little hole in there. Mine was facing backwards. Somehow, for some strange reason, my cervix had turned all the way to the back, you know. My initial feeling was, oh my God, I won't be able to have kids no more, because as you all know, when you do have intercourse and you're trying to get pregnant, the sperm or whatever, I don't want to be too graphic in this vlog, but it goes through that cylinder, you know. It goes through your cervix into your uterus. So when I found out that mine was turned to the back, I actually freaked out. I'm like, my God, like now it's gonna take forever for the thing to get in there, you know. But that was what sent me to the doctor. That, and also the fact that at a point I started discharging, you know, a fluid, and I couldn't understand it. This is, mind you, I am extremely careful when it comes to safety. I never do anything, I never have intercourse without condoms. This is just the way I am, you know. I rather be safe, I rather have pleasure for a long period of time instead of one moment that could destroy my whole life. So when it comes to health and being aware, I was very much aware. So guys, before I actually had the courage to go to the doctor, because for the first time I was actually freaked out this time, you know. I thought that maybe something was really wrong with me, and like I said earlier, I was at the end of my relationship, and before we actually decided to split, another sign I noticed was doing intercourse, I would hurt really, really bad, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, from the bottom of my heart, when I actually got out of my relationship, I actually felt relieved, you know. You know, as women, we always freak out that if you don't give it to your man, somebody else will, you know. So I always stayed with fear that, oh, if I'm not giving it to him, somebody else will. So after we were not longer together, I actually felt like, whew, girl, gotta rest, because every time I had intercourse, it hurt really, really bad. And I thought, I don't know what I thought, but one thing I know is I went for a checkup. This is how this whole process started. I went for a checkup one day. I told my doctor all my symptoms, you know. I told him, listen, I think it's my fibroid. And he says there's no way it could be a fibroid, because not even 9 months earlier, he had told me it was the size of a grain, a rice grain. So there was no way it would jump from that to the point where it was, you know. But when he did a scan, he actually screamed. He's like, oh my God, your fibroid is there. It's alive, it's big, it's... I'm like, I don't understand. You said it would take me 7 to 10 years. So explain to me how in 7 to 9 months, this grew to the size that is creating issues for me now. My fibroid had gotten from the size of a rice grain to the size to 12 centimeters. It was 12 centimeters. There were actually 2 separate fibroids that had attached to each other, you know, and formed one bigger fibroid. You know, my initial thinking was, okay, you need to do the surgery, you need to get rid of this, you need to get rid of all your symptoms, you need to be healthy again, because now I knew that I was gonna be all by myself and I needed my baby to have me healthy and strong. I couldn't be wasting time sleeping all day long, you know. I needed to be strong for her and for myself. Of course, number one, most important, is myself. So I called my friend immediately, crying on the phone, and I just want to say, and I will keep saying this for I think the rest of my life, a big thank you to my friend Anu for standing by me, for encouraging me, for crying with me, for being patient with me, because I've never seen a person like this that would stand by you so much and literally take on your pain as if every time I think about how much we've been through, it makes me so emotional. So the day I found out about my fibroid, this, mind you, this was 3 days before my birthday. So I'm like, how do I go into my birthday with this? You know, my first instinct was, I need to get this thing out. So I called my friend Anu. She was in Nigeria and she freaked out. She's like, nah, I don't think, okay, we're gonna get the surgery done, but I don't think it's such a big problem. So I sent her the photo of my fibroid, and then she screamed, she's like, no, 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 don't do this surgery in Romania. I'm like, yeah, but I want to get it over here. I'm gonna heal instead of dragging it all the way. And she's like, listen to me, I have the best doctor in South Africa, and all you have to do is pass through the holiday period, relax with your family, and when you come over to Nigeria, we would find a way to get to South Africa. I'm like, girl, you crazy. I need to get this shit. I need to get this thing out of me right now. She's like, listen, don't go. You've made mistakes before with surgeries, you know, don't go to just any doctor. Just be patient, take another cycle of your period, and we would sort it out. This is exactly why this vlog took me so long to film, because it's not just about going into surgery and coming out of it. It's a whole mood. It's a whole state of mind. It's a lot of things going wrong. It's having the money to do what you're supposed to do at the right time. And this is why it's so important to work, because apart from buying yourself groceries and the nice things you need, you always need insurance. You need money, because the truth is, health issues come along. Things happen. Things just happen. I had to get to Nigeria to get the South African visa so we can go for the surgery. I get to Nigeria and things just started moving. My body started changing even worse. Like, my period now jumped from 7 days to 9 days. And when I tell you, these 9 days were the worst 9 days ever of my life. I couldn't leave the house for 9 days. I had my period flowing so heavily. I was changing, I think, 2 full packs of pads. I couldn't even use the ones that go in anymore, because now my cervix was completely pushing down. There was nothing going into my vajayjay, basically. Nothing was going in there. So I had heavy flow. I had chunks coming out of me the size of a lemon, and no joke, the size of a lemon. Let me tell you, there was one day I was taking a shower and I felt something hot. I felt something hot sliding through me. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? I knew it was probably a clot or something, but I didn't know what I was gonna see. I just felt a bloop drop out of me. No joke, the size of a lemon. When I say I burst into tears that day, I'm like, what is this? Guys, we're set to travel. This, mind you, my friend came with me. She came with me all the way. She did everything for me. She contacted the doctor. She got everything needed, from visas to accommodation to flights and everything. My friend handled all of it. She didn't even want me to be under more pressure than I was under at the moment. So like I say, I'm gonna forever be grateful and thankful to her, because she stood by me. Boy, oh boy, I've never seen anyone stand by someone just like that. So we get to South Africa. It was beautiful. Of course, I'm gonna be showing you parts of my trip, because you're gonna see everything. So hi guys, we are over here in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and of course, as you all know, I will be doing my fibroid surgery over here. This is gonna be the clinic. Yeah, we have a fantastic doctor over here and we're supposed to see her today, but somehow we just couldn't get an Uber. So that is a for me right now. I am exhausted, didn't get a chance to sleep at all on the plane, so we've been basically running around from side to side. But tomorrow we have another appointment. Oh my god, I need sleep. I need Jesus right now. So we have another appointment tomorrow and let's hope for the best. We meet the doctor the same day. We made an appointment, but unfortunately when I got there, she had already previously asked me to run some tests, but when I got there, she wanted more. She wanted to be, this is such an amazing doctor, oh my god, like she wanted to be very sure. I can't even look at you. See how cute my nurse is. Very beautiful nurse. Look at that. I got me some nice blood. The doctor actually did another scan. Now she realized that my fibroid was not just a fibroid. The placement of my fibroid was just really bad. So my fibroid was pressing on my kidneys and pressing on my bowel at the same time, while it was placed on my spine, my lower, like on the lower part of my spine. So all these months I was getting extremely excruciating back pains, but I didn't know what it was. I thought it was from my scoliosis, you know, so I just slided over that. But now because of the placement of my fibroid, the surgery had to be a little bit more complicated. Now she's not just going to be the only doctor in the room. They needed a doctor for my kidneys in case something went wrong. They needed another doctor for my fallopian tubes in case something went wrong, and they needed a doctor for my bowels in case something went wrong, because everything was so squished and pushing to get. I bargained $6,000, now jumped way more. Like by the time I was done with all the surgery, I think we paid like literally a little bit over $10,000, you know. One other effect I had, which was to me one of the worst effects I had, was I was peeing continuously. I would wake up in the night at least 7 to 8 times in the night. So in a night rest of 8 hours, I was up all the time. Literally every 5 to 10 minutes I would be up trying to use the bathroom. So I had no sleep at all. I was running on low battery for a very, very long time. And finally, eventually, we found out that it was because my fibroid was pressing on my kidney and creating an infection there. So that was what was making me pee a lot. But of course, I didn't know. There are a lot of women out there that live with fibroids for years. Some of them have fibroids the size of a baby. You know, some of them get really, really big. But of course, it's also about the placement of the fibroid. Mine was only 12 centimeters, but it was pressing on most of my main organs, so it was creating more distress for me than a regular person with just regular fibroids. So apart from the tiredness, the peeing too much, it was squishing. Right now I still don't have 100% function of my kidneys, which, by the way, let me just give you the funniest one. So when I did my scan, I actually found out that my left kidney is placed correctly where it's supposed to be, and my right kidney is down below at my belly button. And this to me is really crazy, because I went for so many scans and no one ever told me I had this problem, you know. Nobody ever alerted me, and it's actually very dangerous, because now I actually have to wear a bracelet that states the condition of my kidney. 3 days before my surgery, because of the placement of it, you know, like I said before, they were trying to not puncture my bowel. So I had to clean my stomach for 3 days. Like literally, the first day I was allowed to drink fluids, but then for the next 2 days I wasn't allowed to drink or eat anything. That to me honestly was, apart from me being nervous and excited for the surgery itself, I was so hungry, and I was, oh my god. Before my surgery, the doctor had told me that because of the placement of the fibroid, she didn't know if she would have to take out my whole uterus. And of course this was something else that bothered me so much, because if she took out my uterus, that would mean that I would not be able to carry my own child. And of course that made me cry, it made me freak out. But I said to myself, you know what, I'd rather be alive to take care of the one child I have, and if in the future I do want to have more kids, I can always do that with a surrogate, you know. So I had to go through so many mixed emotions of what I want. I just want to be alive. I just want the pain to stop. I just wanted everything to stop at that point, you know. The day of my surgery, I was so terrified. I have never been so scared in my life. It's since I gave birth to my daughter, I had become so aware of the relevance of life, the importance of being here, you know. So it was a lot. So guys, it is the morning of my surgery. I am extremely nervous. It is the 4th of March 2019 and it's almost 5 a.m. in the morning. So my surgery is going to be by 7:30. By the grace of God, everything will be fine. I have officially not eaten in 48 hours, so I am starving, agitated, nervous, and all of that. But wish me luck. It's gonna be amazing. I just keep imagining how painful is it gonna be, and I can't even.
Are we there?
Yeah.
Okay. That's how I'll fall down the stairs on top of you. I have to stop here. Bye. Good luck.
So guys, I just wanted to update you. My surgery went well. I'm still very high on drugs right now. So they took out all my fibroids. There's a big one. I even took a picture, so if you guys want to see, let me know. I got a cut. Let me show you. I got a bigger cut than I thought. So it was supposed to be 10 centimeters, but they had to go bigger. But it doesn't matter. I have to eat a lot of jellos because I'm not allowed to eat solid food. For 2 days I've been cleaning my stomach because it was very close to my spine, the fibroid, and to my colon, to my bowel. So I am on so many painkillers. So I am in a lot of pain, a lot. But then I had this little cute thing, you know, to pump me with morphine. But the hospital is amazing. The nurses are fantastic. I feel like a princess on drugs. Not laughing. And from tomorrow we'll see how it goes. I'm supposed to inject myself with this morning. I am so terrified of the idea because I don't like poking myself, but hey, we gotta do it. This is a blood thinner. So that's my scar. I have to sun it for 50 minutes twice a day to get the vitamin D. Shaved everything else except there. I ain't even messing with myself, but that's what it looks like. You know, sometimes I say we take advantage of the life we have been given. We take advantage of the things we should do, of the people around us. We take advantage of everything. We think we have all this time in life to make a change. We think we have all this time to become successful. We think we have time. But the truth is, one thing this surgery has shown me is we don't have that much time. We don't have time to fix mistakes. We don't have time to apologize. You literally could be here one day and the next second you're gone. Now is the time to, and I decided from the day I woke up from my surgery, which when I woke up I couldn't even believe I was alive. I was sure in my mind I was gonna die. But on my bed, pumped with morphines and all the drugs they put me on. I was so high that day. I made a choice that day. I made a choice that day to be happy. I made a choice that day to not let anyone and anything come in between my happiness. I made a choice that day to start living. I made a choice to put all the childish behavior behind. I made a choice to completely seal any hopes of reconciliations with people that didn't mean nothing to me anymore. I made a choice that day to choose me. I made a choice to just be happy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Waking up out of that surgery, I knew I had to choose me. If I'm not happy, my kid isn't happy. The people around me won't be happy. The people around me won't enjoy my presence. They won't enjoy my smile. They won't enjoy me, period. And I wasn't ready to let that. I stayed in a place, in a relationship, in a mood where I was scared all the time. I was not sure of anything. I was confused. I lost hope in myself. I lost everything. So that day, I don't know if most of you remember, but I came out on Instagram literally 2 days after my surgery, and I was jumping everywhere. I was so happy to be alive because I knew that that was the end of everything bad. That was the beginning of everything good. I wasn't ever gonna settle no more. This year is gonna be the toughest year ever, but not in a bad way, in a good way, because I'm moving forward with everything, with my life. I get to choose to be happy now, and to me that is a blessing. So guys, let me tell you something. After this surgery, I stayed 2 days in the hospital. They did all their checkups. I had amazing healthcare. I have never seen a place where they focus so much on the patient. Like, the doctors were fantastic. The hospital was fantastic. Morningside Clinic, it was amazing. The nurses, the food was clean, the bed, yeah, everything was so fantastic that I swear I would never do any checkup and anything anywhere else but in South Africa. Surgery done, I go back home. Now by this time my meds start to wear off. I get to the apartment, you know, we rented, you know, which was a beautiful complex, and I noticed that I wasn't feeling pain at my surgery because they gave me such hard drugs that I couldn't really feel that. But then I started feeling another pain. It wasn't at my incision, but it was a sharp burning. It was a pain at my inner thigh that felt like they were burning and stabbing me at the same time. Oh my god, so guys, I know I look crazy right now, but I'm so upset. I just landed from South Africa today, but like, I spent so many months going through so much pain and so much, and I was blessed enough to be able to do my surgery to take out my fibroid. But of course, like any other surgery, it could be minor or it could be something crazy. It comes with its own fair share of complications. So I got a slight complication, which is not slight, but I got a nerve damage during the process of my surgery, and I've been on my feet a lot, and a lot of people ask me how I am, but it's just easier, it's less painful. I can't lay down well because then it just hurts me right in the left corner of my pubic area. It hurts so much. It's like a stab and burn at the same time. I'm just exhausted. Today I sneezed in the plane and it just brought tears to my eyes how painful it was. And you know when something is hurting so bad, but you can't explain to anyone what you're going through because they just think, it's fine. This burn sensation is killing me, and according to the doctors, it could take a month, it could take 6 months, a year, a few years for it to heal on its own, and I just don't know. It's almost 2 a.m. in the morning and I am exhausted and I want to sleep. And I can't freaking sleep because I don't know how to lay down so it doesn't burn. It's like my skin is on fire. I am so sick and tired of having to deal with one pain. If it's not a heart pain, then it's a stomach pain, and if it's not a stomach pain, it's a surgery pain, and if it's not a surgery pain, it's a fucking nerve damage. I guess some people don't get breaks in life. I'm not getting no damn break, so I have earned every smile I put on my face. Like literally, I have earned it. Some people get frustrated, oh look at her. When I am happy, I'm happy, but sometimes I haven't even healed. It's been 1 week since my surgery and it's still difficult for me to get out of bed because I don't want to bust my stitches. Now I'm dealing with this other one. I genuinely, when I post because I'm happy. I post because things are good, you know, but then I have to worry about health issues that I don't understand. I'm the only one in my family that has to go through so much. And I still have to ride and smile and be okay. I just want to ball up and cry. Anyway, that's what it is right now. Yeah. Cheers. One day, everything's gonna be okay. And I swear to God, like, if anyone comes for me, I don't care what I do. I can post my booty for like it. That's my fucking problem because I have earned it. Earned it. I have earned it. Because I know how much I don't go to sleep and I know how much I go through and I don't want no one telling me shit about nothing. I'm a great mom. I'm a great daughter. And fuck it. Fuck it. It is. When I got back to Nigeria, I couldn't walk a lot, you know. I had to, before we left South Africa, I did a few things. I even went to the mall. I was very proud of myself. But I couldn't walk around much. So that's why I also used the wheelchair service from the airport because too much strain. Every time I try to walk for more than 5 minutes, I would swell up. So I try to be safe about that. When I got back to Lagos now, I started drinking a lot of pineapple juice. I read about pineapple, the healing properties of pineapple, so we would make pineapple juice. I was drinking like 2 bottles morning, afternoon, night. And the funniest part is the pain started going away. My nerve actually started healing. I couldn't even believe it. Like, it almost felt, till now I still have problems. It's been a few months. Pain is still there, but it's nothing like what it used to be. Now I know it's just something there, you know, but I ignore it. This process has been long, it's been crazy, it's been painful, it's been eye-opening. I now know who my true friends are. I now know who the people who don't really care about me are. The one thing that made it difficult for me when I was away, because I couldn't fly back to Romania, so I had to stay about a month to heal, you know, and I really needed my mom there. I really needed my mom with me because I felt, my friend was there, she was fantastic, but I felt so alone, not being able to go out, not being able to get up and move around without struggling, and I just needed my mom. But thank God for FaceTime, thank God for the internet, thank God for phones, thank God for technology that I was able to have her there in my life, you know, even if she wasn't present. My daughter was completely supportive. She was trying to make me strong, and my healing went pretty good because I was positive. I knew I was done with everything negative, So the healing process went pretty okay. Earlier, when it comes to healing time, your doctor will advise you to wait 6 weeks without intercourse, without lifting up heavy weights, without doing strenuous activities, you know. But I personally would recommend you to wait. Give yourself time, give your body time to heal better. Things don't just, even if you feel better, doesn't mean, I mean, just think about it. It has been a major surgery and you still have to heal from the inside out. So give your body time. Me personally, I am grateful that I have the time and the luxury of not doing anything that could jeopardize my health. So your health matters. So just give yourself time. 6 weeks is not enough to heal a major surgery. I wanted to take my time to do this video because I also wanted to observe how my cycle is. It's almost back to normal now. The doctor says it might never go back to normal, back to my 3 days, but it's pretty good. Now we are at 4 days, finally at 4 days, you know. And the best part is I don't really have period pains anymore. I mean, I get them at the beginning, but that's it. Like, it's a little bit, I take a pill and I'm good to go. This is what my scar looks like now. With time it's going to change, color is going to get lighter. The one thing I'm curious about is intercourse. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't, thanks to my surgery, thanks to the effects, like I told you before I did my surgery, my cervix had dropped really low, like really low, so there was nothing going in there. So now mama's ready. I needed you to understand what I went through. I needed you to feel what I went through. I need you beautiful women out there to actually pay more attention to yourself. It's not always about the man, it's not always about the stress, it's not always about the perfect job you don't have. It's about yourself. You have to learn to take care of yourself, from the exterior to your interior. Your interior matters so much. What you're going through emotionally, physically and mentally is life. You have to take care of your soul. It doesn't matter if you think your life isn't perfect. It doesn't matter if you feel like you've been dealt a few bad cards. What matters is use what you have. Accept yourself the way you are and rise above everything. For you beautiful women out there, and of course the men, you think this video isn't important to you, trust me it is. You have to be aware of what's going on with the person next to you. Fibroids are something that no doctor can explain. It's like a tumor. It comes from somewhere. No doctor can explain where it comes from. But you need to be, it happens in 80% of black women, less in white women. But you need to be aware of what's going on with your woman. Fibroid kills a lot of beautiful women out there. There are a lot of mothers who leave their children without parents because they die because of this. Fibroid can kill you. Fibroid will kill you if you go to the wrong doctors. I could have had a really bad situation. So guys, seriously, check yourself. Be careful. Do your normal checks. You know, when I mean check yourself, apart from going to the doctor, you need to give yourself a self-check. You need to make sure your private zones are okay. You need to play safe, because trust me, one day of fun, whew, the wrong kind of fun can equal a lifetime of pain. So guys, be safe, be careful. And if I did forget, because I was so nervous about this video, if I did forget anything, I'm going to write it down in the description. But be careful, be safe, and take care of yourself. If you like this video, don't forget to share with all your lady friends, and of course you can share it with your male friends. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on this video, okay? Cody loves you always.